Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels and short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy St. Patty's Day when everyone's Irish.
Whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, everyone's Irish. Look at us. Look at us all in green. We're so back. We're
color
so
coordinated.
Back. Yeah.
Coordinated.
We were texting last night, like, what are you wearing? No, what are you wearing? I'm wearing something green. Are you wearing something green?
One of us is going to have to change.
Yeah, one of us. Gosh, we can't all wear green. Happy Monday. Good to see you guys again. For our live listeners and viewers, tell us where you're tuning in from. We would love to know, as we always give appropriate shout outs for our raving fans. But Michael and Brandy, how was the weekend? It's been like a whole
how was the
kind
week?
Of break. Yeah, it was a whole week.
I know.
All of us were on the road last week. It was spring break for us. We went down to the beach and fishing and had a good old week down in Dolphin Island. And yeah, enjoyed unplugging. Really, the house didn't have TV or internet, so it was a true good unplug. It was wonderful.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Did you and the
that's
boys
very rare.
catch any good fish?
We caught fish, no good ones.
Okay.
So bunch of trash fish.
Oh,
Damn bottom feeders.
but at least they got something. They're learning to, the thrill of catching something.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. We caught a stone crab in the crab net too. So Oliver got to have his first stone crab.
Oh,
Just a claw. Just a claw. We did it the right way.
Brandy, how was your week with we had Sam Dundas replacing you on the episode last week?
I know. I had some FOMO for sure. I was in LA seeing some friends. And so I was on the plane during that, unfortunately, but it was great. My friends have small children, like toddlers and newborns, and we did Disney. And at the end of the week, we came to an agreement that my friend will ship her kids to me and I will take them to the mountains. And then I will ship my kids to her and she will take them to Disney. So that's what I'm sticking to right now. When the Disney age comes, we'll see if that holds. Probably not. You'll probably find me at Disney at one point. No, I didn't put on the ears. There was a running bet with my friends whether I would have like an Instagram picture with ears. Look, I get why the kids love it, but I mean, it's so many people, it's so many lines. It's like bad food.
Kristen
you
and
must
I
really love your kids.
No Disney. So
okay, yeah, but yeah, other than that, and then I'm actually getting ready to go to New Orleans for a month and a half. So until the end of April, you'll see a different background from wherever I decide to set up in my place there. So
have you packed your Well and Good Morning coffee yet?
I haven't been sent any Well and Good Morning coffee. So
I think Brandy has a new address. That's what I'm trying to get the new address, and we'll get you that 12-ounce bag. Figure out what kind of
send it to New
have.
Orleans. I will definitely need it. I've been on my off coffee stint since Thanksgiving, and I just have a feeling that's about to shift. So.
Well, I love seeing little Mia behind you. Is she?
I know.
Gonna be coming along the journey while you go, or?
Oh my God. So I'm going out for like a week and a half and then I'm flying back. And then all of us, Max, Mia, and the two dogs, we're getting in the car and we're doing the drive. This will be my 4th time doing this drive, so I'm a professional. The state of Florida is enormous. That's what you come to realize? But yeah, hopefully, I think the plan is going to be to somehow sedate them all a little bit. I'm going to call the vet because they do well in their separate rooms right now. For the live viewers, you can see Mia just like passed out on her little perch, but like in a small car. If anyone has any tips, let me know.
Get some catnip. Get that party going.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, before we get into the meat of today's episode, a fun little fact. I've been podcasting for 7 years officially. It's today is the day. Crazy that 7 years has gone by. Don't know if I would do it again, but just joking. Just kidding. No, but it's been really fun. So fun little fact today. I looked at my calendar and saw it was our little 7-year anniversary since I've been podcasting, but then got to hang out at Level Up Your Listing Summit in Arizona, an all women's conference where I get to MC every year. This year I had a co-MC, one of our amazing Hospitality FM podcasters. But while I was there, I also get to see our good friends at Fido. And Fido is just continuing to crush the trash game. They are the kings and queens of trash, where they help you execute great hospitality by making sure your guests never have to take out the trash bin to the curb on trash day. So get Fido with our amazing GMH link. Go to getfido.com/GMH. Make sure that they know that you guys are coming from the Good Morning Hospitality crew, because we care about you just as much as you care about your guests. And I would hate for you to have a crappy trash experience. So go to getfido.com, and we are back to today's episode. Let's dive in. I'm curious because we have a lot of OTA talk. Let's just say it. We have a lot of OTA talk today. So, Michael, maybe let's start with you. Yeah. Let's kick off the starting title today.
There's a lot of news on the OTAs, and the most interesting and biggest one in my mind is that the big 3 online travel agencies are generating more and more of the revenue within travel, and Skift is reporting that almost 3/4 of short-term rental revenue on the planet flows through the big 3, Vrbo, Airbnb, and Booking. And the lion's share of that, right now, it's 44% of that is coming from Airbnb, which is massive. The next biggest is Booking at 18%, and followed by Vrbo at 9%. Airbnb and Booking continue to rise. And Vrbo is mostly flat. It's fallen a little bit. So what the big takeaway for me is also these shares keep going up, which means all of your smaller sites keep going down, including your direct booking sites. And we've talked about direct booking on this show a bunch, and it's been a really hot topic for years and years and years in short-term rentals. But the big dogs are going to eat, and they continue to grow, and they continue to invest way more than any one of us has the possibility to invest with several zeros added on. So they've got the budget. They aren't your enemies, but they do take a big chunk. So you do need to have a diversified share.
Yeah, I think that's like the big thing. So, there is this like pitching the operators against the OTAs, and you're right. Like, they're not your enemies. They're doing 75% of the bookings. You need them. But anecdotally, as an operator, we've seen it, like, especially Booking, really eat into the pie. And it's our top 3 are Airbnb, Booking, and our direct site. And it used to be like occasionally, in a month, our direct site might come up on top once in a while. But Booking is really coming after Airbnb in at least urban markets. And our product leans itself to like being more familiar with people are more familiar with hotels and everything like that. But Airbnb's dominance is pretty clear. And I think that also just means that these other smaller OTAs that we see popping up that are kind of specialized, I'm just curious, like, what's their game plan for trying to compete in this landscape when even there's some other big, like, quote, bigger OTAs that are not even mentioned here. So it's an interesting marketing strategy. Yes, Michael.
I think I know what their game plan is, and it's going to try and get rolled into by one of the big hotel flags. And we saw Mr. and Mrs. Smith get rolled in by Hyatt. There's a couple others that are pretty large with a good amount of footprint that are out there and could get rolled into. But yeah, I mean, it's the next OTA is a very, very tough hill to climb, and you need very significant backers to be able to compete with the ad spend of the big three that you will. I know Brandy's down in Miami and she might not even get the reference of the big three, but it goes back to when LeBron went down to the Heat. So
that totally.
For any basketball fans out there, you know what I'm talking about. Happy March. It's March Madness. Auburn got the number 1 seed overall. So, we're happy down here in Auburn, but we haven't been playing.
Even though I'm in Denver, I'm an Auburn fan. I will never not be an Auburn fan. So sorry for our Alabama University peeps, but I'm an Auburn fan. I'm going for it.
Witness Auburn hospitality. So
yeah,
it's a good time.
Sucked me
anyway, we digress. The big three are going to be tough to unseat at this point. And, honestly, I hope someone does, and I hope several do. And in that case, there's more competition, and more competition drives prices down. And we'll get to that comment a little bit later in the show as to what Booking is talking about with AI. But all in all, have a good relationship with the OTAs. They're driving 3/4 of bookings in short-term rentals.
Yeah, I don't know, for Airbnb, I would love to see them utilize the Hotel Tonight platform a little bit more. I think they have more room for growth. Like, if I'm Airbnb, I feel like maybe I'm not tapping out of my market in the term of short-term rentals, but they're definitely going to hit a plateau one of these days. And I think basically the only other vertical for them really to grow outside of experiences, like you said, Michael, we'll get into this also as well in the episode, but I just don't think, I think there would be a huge missed opportunity with them not going into hotels. The big three, not just including Vrbo, is Expedia, right? Like, Expedia, I would say, is a dominator of hotels, where if you're any brand or independent, you are not looking at Vrbo or Airbnb as your significant booking channel. You're probably looking at them as Brandy looks at Expedia or or maybe Homes and Villas, right? Where it's like 5%, 6% of your bookings. But at the end of the day, yeah, I don't know. There's just a ton of room for growth, but I know Airbnb probably has a tough issue with hotels because there's lack of control. Hotels come with a lot more policies, a lot more, not professionalism in the terms of that people on Airbnb or hosts on Airbnb aren't professional, but there's just a lot more business structure rather than host personality structure. And I think for them, that's hard for them to give up. But Michael, I know you got a or Brandy, I know you got a comment. So
yeah, so we had tried to integrate with Hotels Tonight because we have some hotel product, and because of the nature of how that site works, you as the operator don't have any control, and so you have to have things like 24/7 front desk. You can't get any guest contact information. It's very and that's like kind of the whole selling point on the Hotels Tonight, like on their side, but it makes it really difficult as an operator because you just have no information. You can't send them any information about, their check-in. You can't in the current model that we're running short-term rentals, it's very difficult to be on that platform. So, but that's also, there's some I feel like that could be an easy fix for Airbnb to kind of modify some of the ways that they control things on the back end. And then they could really beef up some of that supply. But I also agree with you. The hotels side of things, there's a lot more legalese. There are a lot more SOPs and boxes to check on those agreements and things like that. But I think it's the biggest opportunity to convert some of the typical STR operators over to hotels, or at least get some more eyeballs on those properties.
Yeah. And it kind of flows into the experiences chat, but technology, particularly in short-term rentals, a little bit in hotels, but mostly in short-term rentals, is outpacing the OTAs. And we just saw Verbo go through a real big, I don't know exactly how long
migration,
but a year-long migration of editing and changing all of their integrations, and hopefully that pays off. Airbnb has launched and killed experiences several times, and this time they plan to have API integrations so the larger providers can also participate, because previously Airbnb's experiences, it was launched very similar to Airbnb's homes business. It was a one-to-one, a local, authentic, true second home, live like a local type feeling. But unfortunately for them, at least half the market is professional, just like it is in short-term rentals, just like it is in experiences. And if you're going to service that market, similar to the Hotel Tonight comment Brandy just made, you have to have the technology that matches the systems you're going into. And so I think it's smart that Airbnb pulled it off, waited, figured out the tech, and now we're relaunching it with a much larger TAM. They did this. I remember I'm starting to get old now, but my very first conference in the industry, Airbnb wasn't even there for the first 2 years that I was in the space. And people would talk about them, but everyone's like, "Oh, Airbnb doesn't care about professionals. They just want your backyard, ADU unit." And then, I know my storied co-founder Justin was big and pushing for professional supply because it was a large amount of the market. And look at the numbers: 44% of revenue of short-term rentals comes from Airbnb today.
Yeah. And the experiences component is interesting because this one, I don't know why I had such like an emotional, not super emotional, but like I had a knee-jerk reaction to this. I was like, oh no, like the beauty of the experience is that you get to go on these like really fun, unique, you get these kind of really personal experiences, and the professionals are just going to ruin it and blah, 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 blah. But then I, to your point, that's like exactly, this is just what happened with homes. But I think where they have a real opportunity for success here, if you book even on some of the professional sites for tours, I don't find that the booking process is super, I don't know, it's not aesthetically pleasing some of the times. It might be hard to know what you're actually getting into. And they have, a good looking platform, and then you also can see real Airbnb users that are leaving reviews, I think that it builds on that trust component that Airbnb likes to promote.
Yeah, I was just going to say the design piece of Airbnb is going to trump searching for experiences on Google, because it's a way better user experience to go on Airbnb, see it all nicely organized, easy to use, click, I understand what I'm getting. They organize it pretty damn perfect, versus going on Google, and then you go to this website, and the website's built in 1995 and hasn't been updated, and it looks like it's on dial-up, and it's a really rough experience, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should be giving my credit card to this company.
But that person knows their shit. Yeah. Doing it since 1995.
Yeah. But like, imagine getting that converted over to a platform like Airbnb, where it is design focused, it is better product in terms of the tech, to then, like Brandy said, have that trusted experience where you're seeing real Airbnb users. And a question I guess I have, I've never booked anything on Airbnb. Like, I've never booked an experience. I've never looked. I've looked, but I've never booked. And so for me, I'm curious, like, did you guys have ever, like, are they actually good experiences? Because part of me is like, I don't know.
I've done like a great example in Istanbul. There's tons of tours everywhere, like professional tours, individual tours, all this stuff. And we did one through Airbnb experiences, and it was just us, the guide, and like it was probably like 10 of us total. So like 2 other small groups. and it was really great. Like, he had been a professional tour. He had been like a professor. He knew his stuff for sure. And then was able to had his local hole in the wall places. He knew where to take us, gave us, when we went into the big bazaar, he's like, do not buy any rugs here. If you need to buy any rugs, let me know. I will tell you the exact stall to go to, in a different part of the city where you're not going to get ripped off, blah, blah, blah. So that's I've had great experiences with the tours, and there's some places where you can't do individual tours, but I think that a lot of times, especially if the person has good reviews, you're going to get a really authentic, great experience.
Yeah, I've done them too. And similar to Brandy, it is the more curated and one-to-one type of experience. And sometimes you want that. And sometimes you want to be one of 20 people touring the Vatican, looking up at the Sistine Chapel. So sometimes, it's one of those scenarios, just like in short-term rentals or hotels. Sometimes I want to stay in a Marriott because I know exactly what I'm going to get. And sometimes I want to stay in a cool boutique hotel that I'm going to have a cool one-off experience that I wouldn't get at a big box hotel. And having the options available on Airbnb's new and improved experiences platform is good. It's ultimately what they need. And probably I would have to assume they struggle with the consistency and standards like they do on the homes side, probably even more so on the group side, because it's so a home can be visually seen and aesthetically pleasing to a certain eye, but you don't know what you're getting when you show up to the tour guide, right? You don't know the kind of personality, what kind of day that person's having. Does the boat run out of gas? Does the engine start? All sorts of things can go wrong. Probably more so than in a house.
Well, my question to you guys is, with Airbnb starting and stopping this program multiple times, do we think this is the final go, or are we going to see a potential pause in the future? What do you guys expect with this new inventory, this new push? They're obviously going to be marketing a lot. So if we, in a year, revisit this topic, are we going to be like, damn, experiences didn't work out again? Or we're going to say, damn, they got it right finally?
Well, Skip actually mentions a possibility of acquiring Get Your Guide. And we've talked many times about how much cash Airbnb is sitting on. Get Your Guide is based in San Francisco. All of the major OTAs have acquired. Well, I don't know if Expedia has. Somebody can fact check me on that. I know Booking has acquired one. TripAdvisor acquired Viator. It makes sense for Airbnb too. They got into the hotel space by acquiring Hotel Tonight. I think it has to work for them. Either this or hotels or flights, something has to do it, because to your point earlier on the show, Will, Airbnb is going to TAM out. There's only so many short-term rentals, and they're trading at a multiple as high or higher, I think higher, significantly higher than Booking and Expedia. So the market's betting on their growth and them figuring out additional markets. And without things like experiences sticking this time around, their stock price is going to plummet. So they're going to make it work.
Yeah, I agree that I think it's going to work. I don't know if I think it's the vertical that's going to be the next massive driver for them. I don't know if that lives in the experiences realm. Obviously there's volume in experiences, but your average checkout value for experiences is not nearly as high as it would be for flights or a hotel or something like that. So after they kind of hopefully successfully launch this and keep it launched, then we'll see what they get into next. I hope it's not flights, but it kind of makes sense, but I don't know.
I agree with you. I think lodging is the easier vertical for them to control, or at least try to maintain growth in. Getting into flights is like learning it's a whole new business. Yeah. So, and the interesting thing with this is that there is no GDS for STRs, right? There is on the hotel side, right? You have, forget what, like SiteMinder has their own GDS and a bunch of these like booking kind of data centers with all the inventory, and there is none for short-term rentals. So like Hotel Tonight did well because they connected to the GDS. That's how they got all their inventory. They didn't really have to worry about this, way of growth of inventory. So airlines kind of created this whole thing, and that's how, Google Flights is now able to happen, and, all this type of stuff. So I would think the lodging sector would be easier for them due to that side on the hotel realm. But again, it all comes down to just way different models, way different type of inventory, the way it's managed, the way it's marketed and operated. So it's going to be very interesting to watch. But to wrap up, do we want to go into the last article?
Yeah, I'll carry us in, but I just used GPT to tell me the price earnings ratios. Airbnb is at 45x, Expedia is at 22x, and Bookings at 32x. So yes, Airbnb is trading at a significantly higher P/E ratio. And I did just use ChatGPT. I don't use it
How fitting.
that much. I do still use Google as my primary search, but one of another Skipped article, Skipped was on fire this week, was basically outlining how chatbots or these large language models are going to affect the OTAs. And I would venture to guess, just on my own personal journeys, and this is more anecdotally based, but you guys have all heard me say it before. I think the biggest challenge from the OTAs could come from the social media companies and not the large language models. 80% of people start their travel journey on social media, whether it's friends, influencers, whatever they're following, 80% starts there. So the fact that social media platforms haven't captured that next step to lead to conversion is crazy. And like, a lot of the fun for people booking a trip is the weeks and months leading up to the trip, doing the research and understanding the markets. And it's hard to just hop into a language model that tells you the exact answer. You don't get to kind of go on that journey along the way. So I think it'll be a disruption, probably for the younger generations. I'm now old twice on this show today, but I don't think it's going to be anything significant anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree with that. On the timeline of all of it, because I think there are so many potential, there's so many unforeseen potentials with all of this technology that we can't even possibly think of yet. And I just don't think we've seen anyone successfully roll out any of their ideas yet on how that are going to be revolutionary. But I did think that this is the potential. We talked in the beginning about how, the OTA shares are, gobbling everybody up. And this might be a way to, if you can figure out how to get your direct site in front of some of these large models, maybe a way to kind of break some of that control that they have.
100%. And Brandy, not to change topics here real quick.
Go ahead.
And I know we're getting close to that 30-minute mark, but this is what this show is all about. And we are here to break some news for all of you. So Vacasa has accepted Costigo's revised proposal for acquisition. So Steve Schwab, CEO of Costigo, just sent me this text. Vacasa has accepted the revised acquisition proposal from Costigo at $5.30 per share. So breaking news right here on the show. Congratulations to the team. We've been watching it like a hawk. We didn't want to report stuff as it or speculations as it was unraveling, but it was, there was a lot of action going on, and it seems like Costigo came swooping in with the superior offer. So congratulations to Costigo and the team. We'll see how this all plays out. Breaking news right here on GMH, baby.
They had 72 hours to counter or to revise their offer after Davidson Kempner put in theirs. So because they had locked it in first, they got last say. So this should wrap it up. I think they were planning on closing in April-ish, if I remember reading that somewhere. So we could see this transition happen soon. I'm super excited for it. I made a comment on a post this morning that doing the same thing over and over again, if DK took it over is insanity.
Definition of insanity.
So I am super excited for Steve. It couldn't happen to a better human, and for the industry, let's try something new. Let's give the franchise model a big go.
Yeah, I think it's great to see this as like another form of innovation and risk taking. I mean, and just trying to break out of the mold, because what we've been doing hasn't necessarily been working. So I'm excited
100%.
to see. And also I hope Steve and the team have like good meditation and like breath work and stress management tools, because this integration is, it's going to be chunky.
It's a lot. And so hopefully our next retreat will be nice, quiet, unplug. We'll get Steve, everyone there, just to zen out a little bit. If we can get 30 minutes of quiet time, I think we'll all be happier. But no, super, super great news. And yes, to Mike Nordy and Jacob, congratulations to the team, our live viewers, giving Casago a big shout out. And I think what you said, Michael, is like, it would have been a definition of insanity. So this is very exciting because we all need something new. And we see a lot of vacation rental management companies actually getting into this model. Cassiola launched their own franchises, and a bunch of other brands that have built a brand itself are getting into this model. I think it's a sign of the times that we're in. So really exciting stuff. Anything you guys are looking forward to this week coming up? Obviously, Brandy, the road trip is super exciting. I can't wait to see how that plays out for you and the fur babies. But anything else exciting on this week's agenda?
No,
just a lot of catch up.
I feel like Mike's going to say same old.
No, not same old. I, being completely unplugged last week, I got a lot of calls this week catching up. So we've officially submitted for rezoning for one of the Nook properties. So wish us luck. We'll know more in a couple weeks, but balls are in motion.
Exciting.
Love it. Well, sounds exciting for you too. I'm so excited to hear how all the updates come. Well, great stuff. Thank you to our live viewers and listeners. We got Paul Manzi, we got Warwick on the show, we got Mike, we got Jacob. Super exciting times, and got to cover some breaking news, which is always my favorite. So shout out Steve Schwab, thanks for texting me that link. And like always, we'll see you guys on the next episode. We got our GMH crew tomorrow, our hotel crew is back this Wednesday, and the third episode of Good Morning Outdoors coming to you live on Thursday mornings. And for all of our hospitality entrepreneurs out there, stay caffeinated, get a well and good morning coffee, and ensure that you are ready to go to keep providing amazing hospitality. We'll see you guys all on the next episode again next week.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.